Let's turn to Mr. Shubhamoy Bhattacharjee to get his inputs on that. Yesterday, in fact, we spoke a little bit about demand pull, right? Yes. So you think this is going to really be a massive pull?
Is your wish list met?
My wish list was in terms of the technology sectors.
Okay.
You know, we are, in fact, as Mark was right, pointing out, we have a huge challenge coming up globally. Look at the way things are changing in USA, look at the way things are changing on the artificial intelligence. So the budget needed to give that sense that while consumption, obviously we'll have a lot to talk about, but whether the technology sectors, those have been adequately addressed, you know, sprinkled with. So where I see the technology sectors, you know, sectors like the deep tech fund of funds,
right,
the manufacturing mission with climate friendly technology, the AI centers of excellence which have been further pushed up, and most important, I would say within that is the push for the nuclear power. The finance minister said that we want 5 small modular reactors to be in place by 2033. The Civil Nuclear Act will be amended. You know, these are very major statements of intent in terms of what the central government wants to do in terms of pushing both the technological paradigm as well as financing it. The asset monetization plan, which has been renewed for the 5 years, I think that's an important thing. The PPP, the 3-year pipeline for projects, these are what investors would wish to know. That do we have strong investment ideas coming out of the budget? Because remember, there's a budget that's going to be the blueprint for the next 5 years for this government. So essentially, do we have that space? Have we thought through the investment plans for the government going forward?
Indeed. Talking about investment, Mr. Basu, this budget didn't seem to mention anything about capital expenditure, but then the asset management, asset monetization is a process of getting in another 10 lakh crore rupees for the next 5 years. But then if you looked at the receipts and expenditure statement there, it says that CapEx has gone up to 15 lakh crore rupees. That's a significant amount, would you say?
That's a huge increase. So now I think the important thing here is that, to me as an economist, the first thing I look at is what is happening to the fiscal deficit. The fiscal deficit was projected to be 4.9% of GDP. It is now, the revised estimate takes it down to 4.8. The strongest quarter for revenue is still to come.
Yes.
If you look at the numbers up to December, I look at a 12-month moving average, it is already 4.9%, 12-month moving average.
Yes.
And in fact, if you look at the first 9 months of the fiscal year, only 56%. So 9 months is 75% of the fiscal year. Only 56% of the deficit has been hit. So you're very likely to get a number even lower than 4.8. But the point is that they are then going to reduce it next year to 4.4. I think it'll be even lower than that. It'll be much closer to 4, which is, from an economic standpoint, that is the most positive feature. The fact that you are seeing the fiscal deficit coming down quite rapidly. As an economist and a person of of an economic liberal bent, I would have also preferred to see more action on privatization.
Right.
So there's nothing there. For the last 4 years, we haven't seen enough on nothing on privatization. Okay, anyway,
Mr.
asset monetization
is a process.
Okay. Asset monetization is a substantial thing. It doesn't catch the eye, but clearly it is continuing. It's a continuing process that was also announced by Nirmala Sitharaman 4 years ago. There were 2 aspects to her announcement: asset monetization and privatization. Privatization has been shelved, it looks like, but asset monetization continues.
Okay.
And that is helpful. And I think that the reduction in the whole structure of interest rates, of income tax rates, is very positive.
I think that's one